Hi, I'm Plummy, and in this episode of Ready K, I'm gonna be reacting to the recent comeback of probably my favorite girl group, EVERGLOW, with their song Pirate. And boy, am I really excited to get into this song because, as I said, EVERGLOW are pretty much my favorite girl group, although they are a very close tie for me with Dreamcatcher. They're pretty much on the same level for me, and which group I prefer more tends to change over time depending on the comebacks and whether I like the songs. And I do like most of their comebacks whenever they happen, but sometimes I like a song more than the other one. Like for example, from the last comebacks of the two groups, I feel like I like First more, which is EVERGLOW's last song, over Dreamcatcher's. I mean, I even forgot what the name of their most recent song was, but I've listened to it a lot and it's grown on me, but I just preferred when they released Odd Eyes, so yeah, that's what I mean by that. And I'm excited. Usually, I mean, pretty much every single time EVERGLOW has released a song and an album and whatever, I've loved every single one of their title tracks. So I'm expecting I'm gonna love this one as well, but the question is whether I'm gonna like this more than First or not, because First, I mean, go and watch my reaction to it. I love it. I love that song. So I really hope that by some miracle this song is even better than that one, because that would be so crazy. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the reaction and see how I'm gonna feel about this song in 3, 2, 1. Okay, starting off fierce as always. It's too early to judge, but so far I feel like First was already mind-blowing me. This one is not really doing that. But again, it's too early to say. Man, they look so beautiful. Okay, this one is very different from First, I'll give you that. Okay, I can definitely already tell that this song is gonna be a grower. Man, I love how all over the place this song is, because it's gonna be so good when it's grown to its best, because it is one of those grower songs. I'm gonna talk more about that after the reaction. I definitely did not expect it to be this melodic and this singing based. This is more similar to La Di Da. Holy shit! Man, she's so beautiful, she looks so good. And this song has so many different sounds that I feel like it could have easily made separate songs for, you know? There's so much to talk about when it comes to this song. Also, this song sounds a little Americanized. I wonder if I'm the only one who thinks that. Because specifically here in this part of the chorus, it does sound like something that I would hear on the music channels that play American music in my country. Okay, so this one is an interesting case because I'm definitely not as mind blown by this song as I was with first. That one was just so fierce and so powerful that I just did not see that coming, and it just blew my goddamn mind how good it was. And obviously it was different from their song before that they released, which I believe it was La Da, and that song was amazing as well. So they really followed up with a banger with that one. With this one, I'd say it's not as good as those two songs, but that is not to say that it's bad. I still don't think it's bad. I still think it's just gonna be a little bit of a grower because I'm already into it. A lot of it already sounds great for me. It's just that on first listen, it does sound like a little bit of a mess, and on the second listen, it's probably gonna sound much better because now my brain has figured out exactly how the song flows, so it's gonna feel more satisfied by listening to it. And that's why I feel like I would probably not be able to have the most fair opinion when it comes to this song, because it's not gonna solidify itself. My opinion is not gonna solidify until the song has reached its apex, you know? Because if it's one of those grower songs, it's at its best when you've listened to it for like 10 times. At that point is when it's at its best. And I obviously cannot keep reacting to this song for 10 times until I am really, really into it. But I still already really like it, and I don't consider it a miss. And in a way, it's also a little unfair to put this expectation on releases where every single release has to be better than the last one. It doesn't. It just has to be interesting and fun to listen to. And this one is. It very much is. There's already lots of parts of this song that I like the melodic and singing based chorus. I really enjoy that part, like that, the part that goes, girls all over the world. I like that a lot. It's just that right now it's a little bit of a mess, so let's listen to it a second time and see if it's gonna sound a little bit more cohesive on the second listen. So let's go in 3, 2, 1. In a way, this is probably their most different song so far, because I feel like every single song of theirs so far has always been very cohesive, and it's always been like one sound for the whole song. This is the first time where they're kind of mixing it up a lot. Because you have this part of the song where it's like, I'm a pirate. And I like it, and I feel like the whole song could have been like that. But then you have mixing it up with more different sounds like this. And especially the pre-chorus or pre-chorus girls all over the world. Like, this sounds completely different from the rest of the song. And it's unlike anything that they've done with their songs. Like, they've never mixed it up like this, at least in the title charts. They definitely had similar sounding songs to this in the B-sides. And I personally like the singing bass part here more than the other part, but just a little bit more. It's a really interesting two-sided song. I like it. Man, I love that she's given the spotlight in this one. Because I feel like usually... Man, she looks so good with her hair in a ponytail here. So good. I'm sorry I forgot her name, but I really like her a lot. Although Yairen is definitely my bias. But I love that. What was her name? Was it Shion? I don't remember. I gotta check their names because I haven't really thought about them in a long time. But like, I love that she's given a lot of spotlight vocally in this song. It's also interesting choreo. It's again not as hard hitting as first was, but I like it. You know, I like it. That's kind of how I feel about this song as a whole. Not like what I wanted it to be, but and that's kind of how I feel about this song as a whole. Not like what I wanted it to be, but I enjoy it. It's good. And not every song has to be like a mode-breaking masterpiece. And that is not to say this song is bad or it's not a masterpiece or whatever. I'm just saying that not every song has to surpass the previous one, and I feel like this one didn't, at least for me. But that also comes down to taste and everything, so there's that. But I enjoy it, I like the song, I'll listen to it. In terms of a rating, I feel like for this one I'm gonna give it like a solid 9.7 out of 10. And I say solid, even though it's like a 9.7 out of 10, that's a very high score. But yeah, I like it. I don't think it really has many or pretty much any flaws. I just feel like it hasn't really grown up to its fullest potential. I feel like after a few more listens, I'm gonna like it more. But even then, at the end of the day, I feel like for me, it's just not inherently not as an impactful song as First was, because First is very much like a hard-hitting and rap-heavy and fierce and in-your-face kind of song. Well, this one is different, so inherently for me it's gonna be lower, even though I think it's still perfect and doesn't really have any flaws. But yeah, I'm curious to check out some B-sides with this release, so if you guys want me to check out some B-sides, comment down below, let me know that there is a demand for a reaction to Everglow B-sides, because I mean, I don't remember when I've ever reacted to B-sides. I remember that I've listened to certain B-sides in their album, which was, I think, with Dun Dun. And I loved all of those B-sides, so yeah, I'm excited to check out more B-sides from them, because I haven't reacted to B-sides from Everglow in a while, so comment down below. Or potentially, if you're really adamant about me reacting to B-sides from Everglow, go to my Patreon and subscribe to the specific tier that I've created for requests for K-pop reactions, and you get to demand me 4 reactions per month, whether it be to a music video, to an album, to a group. It's really up to you ultimately. And yeah, as usual, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out and thanks to my currently 3 patrons on Patreon: Omari Bridgman, Deadpool, and Lemonade. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate all that you have given me, and I really appreciate that you've decided to support me on my Patreon, because you enjoy my content so much, and I hope you stay over there for a long time. And now, before we end this video, I just want to talk about something to you guys very quickly, which some of you may or may have not noticed before or know about me, that being the fact that I am trans. And yes, this may come as shocking to some of you, because I don't really flaunt it that much on my channel, or at least I feel like I don't. Outside of like my K-pop reactions, which is where I feel like the most comfortable being myself like this. And yeah, I am in fact trans. I'm not necessarily full-on male to female, but I heavily want to transition to being pretty female. I do consider myself more non-binary though, or maybe gender fluid would be the best descriptor as well, because I do have occasional moments where I feel fine being like just a normal guy, but most of the time, like
right now I do feel very dysphoric. And that's why I'm asking you guys for any help that you can give me, because my situation right now, I don't really see any way outside of you guys' help. Because, and this is gonna be kept short and concise, I live with my parents. They're never going to accept me as a trans person. They just never will. And as a matter of fact, back when I started the YouTube channel, I was actually kind of slightly starting my transition back then, with like starting to grow out my hair. I even got to DIY HRT, but because my parents started noticing certain things, like my behavior had changed a lot and my clothes had changed a lot, I kind of had to stop doing that, because they were constantly nagging me about cutting my hair and just started to kind of be threatening in a certain way, and felt like they were ashamed of me and everything. And that just kind of stress just tired me out to the point where I just gave up. But as dysphoria goes, it just doesn't go away, you know. I still feel like this, and in fact it's somewhat been intensifying again recently, so I just wanted to share this with you guys. And again, I would really appreciate any amount of support you can give me in regards to this, because I just don't see any way out of this. Because even if I moved out of my parents' house and got myself a job and everything, that's just not gonna work for long-term planning, because once I transition, it's like I probably will not be able to get myself a job, because my country is very transphobic. Nobody gives a shit about LGBT people at all. So there's not even much I can do even in terms of transitioning here. So yeah, I don't know. I just would appreciate any amount of support you can give me, be it monetarily or in any way otherwise. And this is not about boosting my channel or anything, or guilt tripping you with my sob story. I just wanted to get this off my chest and make my subscribers aware of the situation that I am in, and that I would appreciate anything that you guys can help me out with. It would mean literally everything. Like, for example, a friend that I made after starting this YouTube channel, my good friend Yuri, has been helping me out a lot. And I genuinely might have not been here if it wasn't for him showing up and befriending me. So yeah, this just went a little bit longer than I intended, but I would just really appreciate anything you can support me with. That's kind of ultimately what I'm trying to say.
And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, check out the links in the description to my Twitter if you don't follow me over there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you enjoy my stories, or you simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon where you can pledge support and help get the channel going and help support me so I can keep writing stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!